Let me say a special good morning to, of course, our listeners and viewers of Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial, and certainly hope. Am I out of the shot for some reason? The other show is going on. It seems like I'm out of the shot on TV for some reason. I don't know what's going on. We get that fixed up but we get that sorted out a little bit there. I think we look, for some reason, things looks a little wide than usual. Not sure what's going on here this morning. Anyway, let me say good morning to our listeners. Let me say good morning to our viewers. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being, of course, Monday, the 22nd day of December. The countdown is on before Christmas. Yes, Christmas Day. It's just, is it 2 days, 3 days away?
3 days.
3 days away before Christmas.
2 and some hours.
So, McPhail, good morning and welcome. What are you doing this morning,
Good morning. I'm pretty good, thanks, GT.
All right. Well, lots have happened over the weekend. I had the opportunity to kind of be around for the weekend, drove around a lot. You know, of course, our folks at GBN, we had that flea market down at the McPhail there.
Okay.
And I've been there for a bit. And other places. Traffic conditions has not changed in any way.
No.
Has not changed in any way. We still have that issue where the congestions. One thing I would have liked to see a bit more is the presence of the police more on our nation's roads.
The mobile patrols.
The mobile patrols. I would have loved to see that happening. I understand, from conversation we have with some members of especially within the traffic department, the unavailability of transportation for that purpose. But even having individuals walking around also in certain vicinities would be a plus. Yeah. We still see the little traffic wardens trying their best in certain areas, but I think if you think about what's happening now, a little bit of doubling up would help a whole lot.
So we need some motorbikes and bicycles.
Yeah. But even if not the motorbike, but there are areas where we see those congestions build up a whole lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes we know the reason why these congestions happen. But if we have some individuals there, police officers and so there, they will make a bit of an ease. Because some of it is because of the road rage. You understand? Folks who want to obstruct for various reasons, getting upset with one another, and they decide they're going to hold the traffic up. You understand? For a wee bit. So we have officers there that will, act as a way of to mediate in terms of having the traffic moving. That will certainly help a whole lot. But I hope that we will see a bit of a change in that in this upcoming week. You understand, due to the Christmas Eve and with the hype of the shopping will build up a wee bit for the next couple of days. You understand?
On Friday.
Folks have to do the kind of late shopping.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah. Because I was about to say that on Friday, there was a little buzz in town.
Yeah.
I don't know what was causing it. But it took me...
about 3 days.
It took me half an hour to get from a Riser car park over to the Scott Street, Young Street Junction.
Say 30 minutes.
30 minutes to get across there at 1:14 a day.
Yeah, it's true because I left work here around noon, just let's say around 5 or 10 past 12 on Friday. Trying to get into town. That was a disaster, sir. That was a disaster, trying to go down the Church Street area and trying to get into the same car parking there. And I was told that there's absolutely no parking available over there. So now I have to try to turn in the middle of the street. Individuals wanting to go out of town direction wouldn't give you the permission to turn. Even they were asked by the police to stop. I had to wait, even though the police told them to stop, sir. I saw 3 or 4 cars, say 5, disobeying the orders of the police. Disobeyed the orders of the police to stop and continue going before they actually did get one to stop so they could turn.
You could turn, yeah.
You understand? So now I have to turn in front of the Glen area and try to go back out the outer town direction. Had to leave my vehicle home and take a bus. Something I haven't done in a long time. I haven't taken a bus in a long time, but I had to get something done, so I had to be in town. And so I just drove home, then parked by my house and took a bus to come in. You understand? That was another delay again. Getting into town, I lost a good 45 minutes or more just going back home and then having to return. So I just hope that something could be done. We talk in traffic all the time, so we're talking about traffic all the time. But do you think that much effort has been done to alleviate the problems that we experience?
No, I don't think so, well, we're not seeing it. If anything was done.
I know there are plans. There's the operations that will be put out by the police. They were here on Thursday of last week, and they have lots of plans in terms of getting things done. But for some reason, we're not seeing it, put it into that really serious fruition of it happening. You understand?
I saw something on Friday as well, where on Cross Street, I think it is, it's called, a number of cones were placed there, right? Because for the ambulance, easy access to get up to the hospital and so on. And there was a vehicle parked, and the police clamped it.
Yeah.
Now, I am not sure, GT, that the clamping helps. Because if it's an obstruction,
it's not deterring an individual from
and if it's an obstruction, you clamp them, the obstruction remains.
So true.
So what you need is a tow truck
to move them
away from the area.
Because you're going to clamp the remain there and still causing an obstruction.
Yeah,
you're right. I
saw it happen some time ago in Green Street when the H.A. Street was being repaired.
Yeah.
And right at the top of Park Lane, the police clamped a vehicle, and it was there for a couple of days in that same position.
So the obstruction remains.
The obstruction remains.
Period of time.
Yeah. So I am not sure clamping. Like I said, maybe a tow truck would be a better option than the clamping.
What happened to those police tow trucks that they had? There have been at least 2 of them sometime.
Yeah, and recently a new one was bought again.
Yeah.
That one was helping with the removal of the derelict vehicles on the roadside. But I don't know.
All right. So, folks, our conversation today is going to be more or less of an open one. Your involvement will certainly be appreciated in terms of you may have ideas and stuff that you may like to throw in terms of, the traffic situation and so forth. We hazardous condition you may be noticing in your vicinity that you want to bring to the fore. Feel free to have that conversation with us. 435-2041. I think we do have our first caller. I think all is set for that caller. Caller, live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning.
Compliments for the season.
Same to you, sir.
And I hope and pray that 2026 will be prosperous and most of all productive with good health and strength.
And I said the same to you in return, sir.
Thank you very much. Listen carefully. The traffic situation, especially between St. George's and Grenans, is a problem that did not develop overnight. And it would plague us for quite a while unless we change our mindset, we change our focus, and we come down to the harsh reality of the way forward for economic growth and development for the nation as a whole. Why I'm saying this? St. George's, Grand Anse, Point Celine. These areas has become the economic nerve center of the nation. The question is that the nation? No. So we are bad management. 2, the importation, distribution has become the nerve center again of our economic daily living. And this is something you can see on the grocery shelf. And I'll give you one example that we are so like square peg in wrong hole. Is our cocoa products that are coming in from outside, processed cocoa products, compared to that indigenous, unique one that we grow naturally. I I just give you a simple example. But the question is import distribution. So that our port of entry has become our main income or deriving income revenue in the national coffers. Therefore, it is difficult to restrict because that's where we are now. So let's go now to the point of the traffic situation and why there is traffic. Revenue is derived from the importation of vehicles. It would be prudent to check the port and see how many vehicles that comes into the country on a monthly or semi-monthly or bi-monthly basis. 2, it will also be interesting to look at the financial institution and the kind of financial resources that they make available for the purchase of non-commercial vehicles and see where the nation going in terms of traffic, the areas of concern, and the chaos and confusion that we are in. Mr. Gentlemen, both of you, have a wonderful day. And may the good Lord bless us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you also. I appreciate your contribution this morning. I mean, I understand where the caller is coming from. You understand? As he rightfully said, things has to be sorted from inception. Mm-hmm. You understand? Things have to be sorted from inception. You can't allow things to start happening and then trying to fix the problem. And I think that's pretty well the direction we sort of going. We do have another caller. Caller, you live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen, and those who are viewing. Good morning, a delightful morning to everyone.
Same goes out to you, sir.
The previous caller made some positive points. I think it calls for a total restructuring of our country, politically, economically, etc. For example, there may be or may not be too many vehicles in Grenada. The problem arises where most of the commercial activities or the economic activities, they are centered in one small area, the southern part of the country, which is silly. Listen something. We have the international airport there. We have the university there, and millions of dollars circulating with the hotel industry, etc. God forbid, should there be a major accident down there? What's going to happen? A plane may have a hard landing. I wish this never happened. Or some fire or something that can interrupt our lives. What is the alternative? What do we do? I think what needs to be done, there needs to be some diversion with commercial activities, whether it's incentives or lands available, something. We need to sit and think intelligently and remove some of the activities out of that area. It's clustered. Right? So it's only obvious you're going to have the problems with the motor vehicle and the congestion, which is a nightmare in and of itself. If there are greater activities in other parishes, there can be a significant reduction of vehicular traffic in the Grand and St. George's area.
But so not to cut you, but would we see a reoccurrence of what is happening in the south if we go to other parishes? Are we not thinking of a reoccurrence of happening?
No, not necessarily. For example, what commercial activities on any significant scale do we have in St. Patrick, in St. Mark, in St. Andrew, or even St. David, which is relatively close to St. George's? All right? Then it calls for control. We are going to have this area over here, so to speak. We need this for agricultural activities. We need oversow for industrial activities. Down here will be commercial, and here will be residential exclusively. But we mix everything like a pea soup. There is no segregation in the South for commercial, industrial, residential, etc. It's poor planning, and I'm embarrassed. After 52 years of independence, we are a small nation, 110,000 of us. We just cannot sit and act intelligently and alleviate that problem, right? Now, the question of the city, St. George, right? vehicles are being parked anywhere and everywhere. The clamping, as your host said, is not the solution. I think you need a record, so to speak, to remove those vehicles that are parked illegally. This is where we made a major error when phase 2 of the cruise ship terminal was proposed, and it was bitterly opposed. No, don't do it. It's a Christian nation. You are going to have gambling with a casino. But we have gambling, we have national lottery, we have mega bingo, etc., 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 which again, it goes back to backward political decisions. Okay? With the influx of so many vehicles, is anyone investing in a car park? Does the government have the financial resources to do it on their own? Of course, it appears no. So where do we go? This is a question that calls probably for a national conversation. Okay, my brother, I do not want to utilize more time. Somebody else wants to call.
Thank you a whole lot. And of course, the caller made a whole lot of sense. And if we start thinking in that particular direction, we could make a difference. You know, sometimes the decisions are always left up to a handful of individuals who may not be thinking as everybody else is thinking. You know, the way me and you may be thinking, Mr. McPhail, there's not the abundance of another 50,000 people. And sometimes because we are the ones in authority, we have a tendency to go with what to do, just that little cluster of individuals' ideas, and it may not be work for the long run on everybody else. You know, we have another caller. Caller, welcome. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, GT, and good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My take this morning is that of Grenville. Now, there's a lone place in Grenville which was known as the car park for years. It has since been transformed into a flea market. Secondly, the streets of Grenville, where buses used to park and as a bus stand before the terminal, is now marked as no parking by police officers. I don't know under whose directive, it is commissioner or whatever. And so there is absolutely no parking place along the streets of Grenville, you can safely say. They designate parking for some of the store owners, and whatever it is, whether it is in friendly basis or whatever. And right now, I'm telling you straight, on any given day, it's a total mess. You have to be circling in Grenville if you come with your vehicle, or you have to try to find yourself somewhere on the outskirts of Telesford or where for this. I am only saying this here this morning in general that there is adequate space. It takes a lot, but outside of the Grenville bus terminals and so on is shallow waters. They really need to embark on what we call dredging and maybe filling up the spaces and making more space, because as rightly say, we are importing vehicles by the hundreds within the space of 3 months. I'm a part of it, and so the population is really increasing, and the space for parking, this movement, everything is coming to be a bigger and a bigger problem. So that's my contribution here. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, caller. I mean, he's speaking of someone who is probably living in the outer parish, St. Andrew, and he's seeing the problems that are there. Certainly hope is the issues there, the authority listening, and making those changes to what that certainly will help us in the long run. You know, we do have another caller, this caller will be our final one in this segment, and we take a break. Caller live. Good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning to you, gentlemen, and I wish you all the best for the season and for the start of the new year. You and all your followers, wonderful program.
Good morning, and same goes out to you, sir.
Thank you. A couple of things. Mr. McPhail spoke about defiance of road users in regard to the police, but there is nothing that undermines enforcement is when the enforcers themselves seem not to respect the law and what they're supposed to be doing. I'll give you an example. There is a restriction on entry opposite the Mount Hackman Junction, a gap, to go into the back of Mantu at certain hours of the day. And more than once it happened to me. I came in late in the evening, long after the time that this no entry sign should have been removed. And the sign was there. I was going to my barber. I came back. I had to have a circuitous route, cause more traffic jam, go everywhere, approach from somewhere else. Only to learn that the time had passed for the sign to be removed. And the guy said to me, "No, they don't bother to move it now. But if you just pass around it and go, next morning it becomes effective at a certain hour again." How could we do that? So, in other words, you're saying to folks, ignore the signs. Like sometimes they're to be obeyed and sometimes they are not to be obeyed. When the time comes for removing the sign, if the officers find this inconvenient, they can contact someone in the community, whatever it is. No, we used to do that before as a small community. At a certain hour, would you kindly, a neighbor, move the sign and put it here from storage for us until tomorrow morning? No, it's too much work. So they leave the sign there overnight. And in the morning, people must suddenly know that you don't enter there anymore because it's now 7 o'clock. We don't do things like that. That undermines the whole thing about people complying with regulations. And I'm not surprised that we see defiance because we don't respect our own rules. Something I've seen happening again right in the valley, just a few feet up the road. We have a new vehicle graveyard being formed. That narrow street. One car was there. Yesterday, last night came, another one is there, right on the curb. Wrecked cars. Nobody's passing and seeing to move those things. They may say they're not in the road. But you have no room. If you have a wide vehicle and you overhang a little bit over the curb, no, there's no room for that there. And it's happening right before our eyes in real time. And I think sometimes when they stay longer, it's more difficult to move them. But if we are alert and on the bit and we move them quickly, then it will send a message. But when it stays there for a month, somebody said, "Mine could stay there for a month too." So we have sometimes the whole approach to enforcement is undermining the effectiveness of what we're trying to do. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning.
Chitty, and that caller is right, you know.
Yeah.
He made a valid point. When you leave them, then they take root, and it's difficult to remove them after.
And it goes across the board with all other problems that exist.
Yeah.
Once it stays there for a bit, and I said it, and it starts to fester, it's hard to repair.
It's hard to repair
that problem. Understand? Callers, listeners and viewers, we drew for a break. We have to take a break now. We're past all the time we should have taken a break. When we come back, we continue with the conversation here on To The Point this morning. A bit of open conversation as well, myself and Mr. McPhail here. No specific subject matter we're speaking on this morning, but it all reference to what we always reference to: traffic condition, hazardous condition that you may see within your community. We focus on that. Let's take that break. We're coming right back. Don't touch your dial.
The Accounts Department thanks you for your continued support and cooperation throughout the year and extends best wishes for a prosperous new year. Happy holidays.
Stories are why we do what we do. Thank you for trusting us to uplift, inform, and entertain you throughout the year. From everyone at the GBN Newsroom, I am Shania McIntosh, wishing you a happy Christmas and a blessed New Year.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with Mid-Morning Magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's Caroling in the City, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Utah Sundays with classic Christmas tunes and prices galore. And from December the 1st, K105's Lights of Christmas. Guess that hidden cash and win. So whether you're singing, shopping, or celebrating, do it with GBN. Connecting with you this Christmas. Our partners making it possible: Flow, Ace Hardware, Foodland Supermarket, Grenada Duty Free, Answer Coating, Banfields, and Koyaba Beach Resort. GBN's Christmas Catalog, connecting you this season.
Folks via GBN TV shortly. Mr. McPhail, welcome back. You know, we've been having some interesting feedback thus far, especially from folks listening. And before we move on, let me take the time to say good morning. Mr. Silver McIntyre, I want to say good morning to all the listeners. Of course, he's sending out season greetings. And of course, he will be back with us in 2026. And so that's the nature of the program this morning. As we mentioned, it's a bit of an open conversation this morning in terms of the traffic situation, and we invite our listeners and viewers to chime in with us this morning, and we will certainly get into that conversation with you also. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning, you're live. Welcome. Caller, good morning. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Season greetings.
Season greetings goes out to you also. Good morning to you. Caller, here what you need to do. You have your television or your radio in the background that is probably very loud. Lower it, please, and listen to me via the phone.
I'm listening.
Okay, go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Okay. There is a topic that I would like to touch on. Are you hearing me clearly?
Go right ahead, please, caller. We're hearing you loud.
Yes.
Caller, have that radio or anything in the background that's causing you a distraction.
I'm not radio anymore, so I don't know.
All right, go right ahead, please, because when you stop, it seemed like you're listening to something else at the time. No. So go right ahead, please.
All right. So we're concerned at the community of Westerhall, and there is one traffic warden who has a vehicle, and she will park the vehicle in front of the back.
It seemed like that caller has a bit of an issue with their phone, so you may have to call us back. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, and to your listeners as well. I want to make what is an observation. The police department would put up no parking sign at various points. And obviously, parking is for ease of traffic and other things that they're trying to maintain. My concern is why it is those signs are blatantly disregarded. Typical critical place in point is the Molina area where they go. This place used to be so congested, and I mean, it's I don't know what's happening there. But I noticed recently that they have posted some no parking sign. But there are times you pass there, and there's still parking that obstruct traffic. One vehicle obstructing traffic, lines of traffic for distance, and when you get there, you realize it's one vehicle that is doing all of that thing. My question is, why isn't the law not being enforced? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a bit concerning there. That's a concern because the sign actually speaks for itself, right?
Yes.
No parking means no parking. And I have observed that also there's a no parking area, and for some people feel, well, it maybe not for them. And no parking is not for me, so I could park there. And that's interesting, the lack of respect, if I could put it, for signs and other things that is important. We have the tendency of not wanting to pay attention to those things. Some folks get the impression that they are above the law and stuff like that, and they feel I could park there, and I've been doing it for a period of time and nothing has occurred, so I could continue doing it. Do you understand? We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, I'm calling back.
Go right ahead, please.
Okay, yes. Concerning, as I have said earlier, I live in the community of West Harbour. There is one of the traffic wardens who own a vehicle will park the vehicle in the road. Then there is other houses to the back which there is no access, and whenever you call out to her to move the vehicle, it will create a problem. You go to the police on numerous occasions, they send a visit, they don't show up. I reported it on the 4th. I had a message going at the police page. They respond to me and tell me they will put it on the traffic, and today's 8 days and no one has get back to me concerning this situation, and it always creates that problem. Because my whole thing, you're charging someone for obstruction and then you are obstructing others in community and nothing has been done. She said that the police is for her, so we're wasting our time.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. And it's an ongoing thing for a long
Not only interesting, but that's concerning.
It's very much.
All right. Well, I'm happy that you are able to express yourself in terms of what is taking place.
Yeah.
I know that they are, of course, the police and the travel department, they do listen to this program, and know that you have brought it to the fore in a public way. I hope that something is done about it soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you also for making that contribution there. That's interesting, Mr. McPhail.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Caller, you're live. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have a concern to make. Like, you see, going up bushes, you have a piece of steel in the middle of the road. Right? After you cross the last two humps, after bushes, you're on a slight corner. You have a piece of steel poking out of the road. Well, apparently could take vehicle either the tire or by the arm under the vehicle, I know if the nation know about that. But
is it something that you could probably remove on your own, sir?
Well, I ain't going up there in a while. I'm passing in Boston and in traffic and seeing that.
I understand. But sometimes we do see these hazards. Sometimes we could say, hey, before it could maybe cause a problem for me or other road users.
Yeah, I was thinking about it myself, but that is when I'm going back there.
I understand, but maybe someone who is listening now in the vicinity or in that particular area could probably do something about it.
Yeah, that just before the corner to the blue shop. You have a blue boat shop right around that area there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Thank you for raising a concern. And probably someone in the area could do it. Sometimes if you see things within your community that you could help in terms of taking care of, you do it. Because it could save you the problem and save other road users the problem also. We do have another caller. We lost that caller there. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's Well, I don't think the comment is something I can read on air. So 435-2041. Caller live. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Yeah, all the best to you and to everyone. Merry Christmas to all. Now, I know we're talking about, you there?
Yes.
Right. I know we're talking about traffic and its effect.
And I will be happy if it's remain on that, the conversation remain there.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that, you see, we have as a nation, we have an attitude of careless, irresponsible behavior, right? And it just show itself in traffic in all different aspects of our lives, right? And sometimes we cannot take one in isolation, right? I know we're talking about traffic, yes, but we have a careless, irresponsible attitude. Okay, like even the laws on our law books is not being adhered to. So traffic is only one of them that we think about. Is all aspects of our lives. You know, we're very careless. We act very careless and very irresponsible. And unless we take it on a holistic basis and we try to do better, then we're not going anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. And what the caller mentioned have some relevance. Yeah. It goes across the board. If you're not able to balance off other things, how are you going to be able to respect the laws in terms of the traffic and stuff like that? You know. Caller your life. Good morning. Caller seems to be dominating.
Good morning. Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Season's greetings to you and to the goodly gentleman.
Good morning.
My peeves that I have personally, right, is definitely to do with the traffic and especially the SL trucks, right? I don't know if the authorities can do something to regulate. There has to be some form of regulation. There's regulation in Trinidad to deal with SL trucks. The times they are on the road, the use of the jake brake, you know, that loud brrr, that kind of song that they make, it should not be allowed. These trucks that have modified jake brake systems should not be allowed on the road after 6 o'clock. Period. We have a law.
When you say 6 o'clock, is it AM, PM?
PM in the night when people trying to sleep. Mm-hmm. When the wheat boat is in and these trucks are plying Maras Hill and Loaders Lane, I don't know how the people are sleeping. You know? And I'm pretty sure you've heard them. I live in Springs and I can hear them a mile away. I hear when they come off the port of St. George's and I'm in Springs. It is just, you know, and then on top of that, the recklessness. I'm sure you've seen that a lot of the heavy truck drivers right now are young guys, right? They are just reckless on the road, and I think it's a disadvantage to the veterans who are driving the SL trucks, who actually know how to operate them and whatsoever. You don't see these older guys doing that kind of nonsense, right? The last I know, a red light at a traffic light, right, means stop for everybody. It doesn't mean go for a SL to cut traffic and that kind of thing. You understand? There has to be some regulation. Sandboat in, trucks plying Woodlands, trucks plying Maras Hill, and they are racing, they're recklessly just on the road, and there has to be regulation. I would love the authorities to look into that. And one more thing, GT, before we go, is obviously I'm dealing with noise, right? Noise pollution. I mean, those cars that are backfiring, the guys, they rev them out, they backfired just last night. I am here. A silver Nissan Skyline passes in Springs. I mean, goodness gracious, how these guys don't have a heart? They can't be doing that. That car gone down Springs. I live in here and I hear that thing all the way down the road down there. Just like gunshots. Blah, 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 blah. How is that even possible? They've got to stop these things. You understand? We're just getting too lawless in this place with these things. Nip it in the bud while it's early. That's what we have to do. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. And of course, very, very important points there from the caller.
Yes.
And it's experiences that not only he is having, but there are lots of individuals around the island who are having those experiences, sir.
And those trucks now, they're not limited to St. George anymore.
No.
They're all over the island, all over now. They transverse with these containers, 40 foot, 20 foot. Sometimes they have a outrider.
Yeah.
Other times again it's just a truck, and it could be pretty dangerous.
And I agree with the caller, especially the folks who are modifying their mufflers and stuff like that. And 2 and 3 in the morning, they may think it's the appropriate time for them to drive or test it out. That's what I'm thinking.
In terms of movement from the port with the wheat and so on, I'm not sure if you could really regulate the time.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I think maybe there could be less use of the braking system because there's less traffic.
Well, yes.
Except for hills and stuff like that, I understand, to slow them down. They may need to. But, it's something that seriously needs to be looked into. Seriously needs to be looked into. I could understand and could really hear the plight of the individuals calling who are having a problem with these things. And there's nothing new about it. Nothing new. But something seriously needs to be done. Reference from the authorities. We do have another caller. Caller, you live? Good morning, welcome.
Hey there, Mr. Telesford. Greetings.
Good morning, sir.
Greetings to Mr. McPhail. I'm here cracking up. Indeed, I hadn't planned to call because I'm relaxing myself. But an individual just made a statement there, Mr. Telesford. Lord of mercy, this here country. He spoke of the heavy trucks, principally diesels that move about the place there. And he referred to it in the correct name, a jake brake. Where does this word jake come from? It comes from the manufacture of a system used on the exhausts of heavy machinery. The purpose is crystal clear. Now, it is called a brake because it controls the exhaust. It is designed principally for restricting engine rotation under heavy loads going downhill. It has a purpose so that the revolutions of the engine doesn't overrun, create greater speed, and then the service brake, which is the one we quote unquote mash, that's the brake you push with your foot, doesn't have to come in, for if that fails, things can turn disastrous. Jake brakes, sometimes called engine brakes, sometimes called with different designs, exhaust brakes, are never been designed to replace the service brakes. As a matter of fact, if it is abused, I notice people are going over, humping the road. They're going uphill. Take a look at this as a joke. Listen to some of the most ignorant drivers we have in this here country. You going uphill and you applying your exhaust brake, for Christ's sake. Mr. Gentleman, Sir Grenadians, owners of these heavy trucks, ask you, read it if they can't read, for them to understand how this system, you're coming down somebody mentioned Marasil with a heavy load or Loader's Lane or White Gun, and you want to relieve the strain of your cervix brake, you apply, and that goes continually. When you reach to the bottom of the hill, you flip it off. No, there are some that are automatic, but to avoid the abuse, you turn it off. The jake brake, exhaust brake, engine brake does not replace your service brake. If you use your service brake normally and under circumstances of extreme load going down long hills, that is where you apply your jake brake. You never apply it to cross a hump. You never apply it to slow down around a corner. And what's that up a hill? But I hear the abuse. So I understand what the gentleman, because it makes a ridiculous noise, and not only here. That is why in certain parts of North America, you cannot use it, otherwise you charge as if you collide with somebody else in the road. So I just thought I'd say that as a mechanic who have looked at these things and understand them very well. Abuse, because they do not know. know. They do not know. These young fellas don't do anything. I wish that the people read the books, the instruction manuals of the equipment that they buy, and save the engine. Because what happens here? In effect, is the engine rotation changes.
All right.
I say no more on it.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you had studied it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We do for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Probably get into the final segment this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Grenada.
This Christmas, may your joy be loud, your blessings stay on full volume, your peace come in crystal clear. Season's greetings from Graphics and Hot 98 team. Happy holidays.
From the first good morning to the last call of the day, wishing you a blessed and happy holiday from GBN.
Something is different this year about Flow Christmas promotion. Flow is doing something big and I really need to figure it out. This investigation has been going on for the last couple of weeks. I've been following her, trailing her, but I just can't seem to figure it out. I need to crack this case. I'm connecting all the dots, putting every pieces to the puzzle, but I know I'm close. Finally, I catch you. Give me that.
This Christmas at Flow, get a new Samsung Galaxy for only $49 or get up to $400 in shopping vouchers when you sign up for postpaid mobile on your internet account. Win even more prizes when you spin the wheel in our stores. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms while we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with mid-morning magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's caroling in the city, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Utah Sundays with classic Christmas tunes and prices galore. And from December the 1st, K105's Lights of Christmas. Guess that hidden cash and win. So whether you're singing, shopping, or celebrating, do it with GBN. Connecting with you this Christmas. Our partners making it possible. Flow, Ace Hardware, Foodland Supermarket, Grenada Duty Free, Answer Coating, Banfields, and Coyaba Beach Resort. GBN's Christmas Catalog. Connecting you this season.
It's approximately 10 minutes before the 10 o'clock hour. Yes, time on the time, I like to refer to it as. And it's our final segment for the program this morning. You know, Mr. McPhail, sometimes you get that feedback from individuals that makes you think, well, it's okay for certain things to happen. When I say that, it's okay for folks to cause obstruction. It's okay for that individual to park where they want. You know, so you get that impression sometimes. Maybe for the individual's own personal benefits. You know, in terms of how they come across sometimes. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I get that impression as well. there's nothing wrong. You know, I want to park
Why are we talking about that when it should be okay for it's okay, it's a normal way of life.
Yeah, so I want to park here, and I park here, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Because that's where I want to park.
All right, we have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning via WhatsApp. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Season greetings to everyone.
Good morning.
It's McPhail to guests and everyone. I was trying to restrain myself from calling, but the temptation, I guess, too great. We have a problem. Sometimes I think it's quite appropriate to reiterate the problems we're having with regard to the traffic and so on. One thing we have to realize is that we cannot have our cake and eat it too. We have more and more vehicles being imported in Grenada, more and more vehicles on the road compared to when I was a young man growing up. And importation of vehicles generate economic activities which generate income, revenue, so to speak, for the government. And revenues are used for salaries, pension, hampers for Christmas, and so on, and all those things. So there is, we have to have a hard reckoning conversation with all parties involved. The other point is that, yes, there are people who we may classify as being quote-unquote reckless and parking anywhere and everywhere and causing obstruction. But even when one accounts for those people, and there's still situations where people who want to follow the rules have nowhere to park. Their houses are right on the road. Everyone wants, quote unquote, everyone want to drive. They don't want to walk anymore, and sometimes the streets are not conducive to safe walking. And so people get in vehicles and drive, and then they find themselves not having a place to park. We talk about the big trucks and so on making the noises. Yes, those things are concerned. But if they don't drive, if there's a problem for them driving, traversing the road after 6 p.m., what will be the alternative during between 8 and 6? Where people are going to and fro from work and driving in the city, and so they will cause more of a problem. We talk about those vehicles backfiring. Yes, I don't know what's the problem. Vehicles are for moving from one place to the other, and people think that because we do have a in a smooth that place they may feel that they have a right to practice on the road. It's kind of a NASCAR kind of approach, and so that one should be a low-hanging fruit, because we have police force who can make sure those things are taken care of. The problems though with traffic and the congestion is a much more tall order to solve, and it will demand serious conversations where people will have to give up some of what they consider some of their rights to be for society well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
And good morning to the two gentlemen, both gentlemen. I want to wish everybody, particularly listeners to your station, the bright and prosperous New Year and a happy Christmas. Mr. JT, I think we call. I want to say to you that I admire listening to you. You are a straightforward person, and you ask the questions to all the parliamentarians, both opposition and government. You ask them the very hard questions or the very serious questions, and you don't play side. You are very much appreciate you for that.
That's it, caller. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kind of deviated a wee bit in terms of what we actually speaking about, but the caller is also welcome. it's a wish of mine. Actually, it's a wish of yours that as drivers on Nation Road, that these conditions would change.
One of the things
go ahead, Joe.
That bothers me a bit. I don't drive at nights very much, right? But night driving is becoming a nightmare, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what's your experience been like. But the drivers no longer drive with their lights on dim. It's on bright.
Yeah.
And some of these lights, I don't know if they alter them after they landed and inspected. The trucks as well. Some of them have the lights on the roof of the truck facing down at you. And it's really, really becoming a nightmare driving at nights. And even young drivers are complaining about lights. Yeah. So, not only the more advanced ones, but...
Well, it's against the law to modify your lights, because if you go do the inspection and it's not the,
but
the
some
lights
people change it after inspection.
What happens? Yeah. You go for inspection with one color, then you come out, you just change it back. It happens. It happens. And then, there's no follow-up from the police sometimes. Because for the rest of the year, you will continue to, drive your vehicle like that at nights with your bright lights, and there's no follow-up from the police saying, well, GT shouldn't be doing this or doing X or Y. You understand? There's absolutely no follow-up on that. So it continues to happen, time and time again. So what could be done about that? We do have another caller. Let's take this caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir.
But this thing about breaking the law is a worldwide thing, I realize. Because here's something: the men who control, who have themselves as the demigod of the world, they have no respect for law or order in this world. Look at Venezuela. They say they will be going to the United Nations for what Donald Trump is doing today.
Caller, our conversation this morning is relatively not based on issues of that nature. I understand where you're coming from and you maybe want to express that, but we're talking more of traffic issues and so forth. All right? So we're probably going to not have you continue on that level this morning. Let's go to another caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. I don't think government should really interfere with sugar. They should make programs.
So, caller, when you're talking about sugar, what are you referring to? We're talking about traffic situation. That's the nature for a program on a Monday. So I'm not sure the direction of sugar. Where you're going at with that?
Oh, I thought somebody was talking.
No, we're not talking in relation to that. Have a good morning. 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go to another caller. We lost that one. I think folks are starting to deviate a little bit in terms of our conversation this morning. All right. Folks are starting to deviate a little bit. We're talking about traffic situations, concerns you may have in reference to that and so forth. It's not an open line for open conversation this morning. That's not, of course, the direction we're taking. Mr. McPhail, looking at my time, it says just around 1 minute to go before 10 o'clock, which means I think it's about the appropriate time for us to take a wrap for today.
Oh, you want to take the final caller?
We should try the final caller, see if it's... let's try this caller for our final one for the morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning.
My final caller.
Okay, I'm calling in reference to the way the police drive their vehicles on the manual stretch when the morning comes. People are walking, exercising, and the speed that the police drive on the manual stretch is totally out of control. They have no consideration for the people who are walking, and the lights are on very bright. I think they need to also start to follow the law before they tell others how to control themselves with the law. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution also. So I feel we get to the stage of the morning where we're going to take a wrap. Well, maybe our final program for the year.
Yes,
maybe our final program for the year next summer or maybe next year. I'm not sure whether you'll be back. Most likely Mr. McIntyre will be back in 2026.
Both of us.
I want to thank you for popping in with me for the last couple of weeks. It was a pleasure to have you on the program. If you could still make it from time to time, pop by.
Sure.
Yeah, pop by. Anything you want to say in closing?
Well, in closing, GT, I want to say it was the past few weeks were very interesting. The comments we've been getting and the feedback, it shows that people listen to the program.
Yeah.
And we do hope that come 2026 we see a lot of changes in terms of attitude and behavior on the road.
Yes, that overall attitude needs to change a whole lot. And if everybody starts thinking differently in terms of how they treat each other on the road, the mistakes that we see that have been made, if everyone tries to correct it, we would have an easier flow in terms of how things are done.
Yes.
Thank you once again, sir, and best wishes.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks, that's where we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. Join me again tomorrow for another. Have a good one. That's where we say goodbye.